amongst the heathen. What does that mean? A leader amongst the heathen nations. Ambassador is the head. Who's the head of the heathen nations? Who's top of all the heathen nations? Right? Esau, right? There's nobody above Esau amongst the heathens. Okay? Like I said, these nations think they're going to get a leg up on them, but they're not going to get up on them. He's the ambassador. He's the height of the heathen nations. It was time when the other heathen nations ruled. You read about the Persian Empire. You read about ancient Babylon, ancient Assyria. These Egypt. These were when the heathens reigned on the earth. But now the ambassadors reign. Right? Who's that? Esau. Took over. Started as a Greek, went on to Romans, went on to Europeans, and now called himself Americans. All the same people. We don't.
Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
So now this great nation that ruled all nations is being made small. Meaning that the nations can't stand Esau anymore. Right? He made him small among the heathen, greatly despised. See that word? These nations are not going to want to deal with him anymore. And that's what you're seeing today. You're seeing the beginnings of that. And these nations are rising up because they don't want to deal with Esau anymore. Read on. They don't trust him. Right? Read on.
The pride of thine heart has deceived thee, though that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Right. The pride of thy heart has deceived thee. Those that dwell in the clefts of the rock. What is that talking about? Caucasus Mountains from Georgia, Russia. Okay? That was their biblical ancestry, or Mount Seir. Right? When it comes to what is written in the scriptures. Okay? But historically, and they went to what? The Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. That is their nativity. Okay? That's why they call themselves Caucasian. It comes from the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, the Caucasus, which was mountains that were very cavey. A lot of caves in those mountains. So they dwelt in the caves in the mountains. Kind of looks like those big apartment buildings with all those little holes for windows. Right? It's the same scenario. All right? We don't.
Whose habitation is high.
Whose habitation is what?
Is high.
Want to live up in the mountains or live up in the penthouse? Right? It's all written in the scriptures who Edom is, who's Esau. Okay? I know there's doctrines out there that would have you believe that the white man is not Edom or Esau. But if he isn't, we have to find a better person to fit this description. Right? And you can't find nothing better to fit the description of Esau in this Bible. Read on.
That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Very prideful. Right? Who's going to bring me down? I got the nukes. I got the military. Soon as a nation want to stand up against America, what they say? Military. We're going to bring our battleships over there. What did he tell Kim Jong? Trump said it's going to be fire and fury. Right? That you've never seen on the earth. That's very prideful. Right? Who can bring me down? I got the fire and the fury. I got the artillery and the warfare. Read on.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle.
Right? And he exalts himself as the eagle.
And though thou set thy nest among the stars.
Right? Space stations and man on the moon and all these different, go to Mars. Read on.
Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Most High.
The Most High is going to bring him down. And that's what that is our patience. We don't have to go get the guns. We don't have to start the Liberation Army over again and storm the White House. The Most High set him up. He's going to bring him down. Come on. We might go there, but we'll finish there. Read on.
If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough?
Mm-hmm.
If grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes?
Right. You know?
How are the things of Esau searched out?
Right.
How are his hidden things sought up?
Right. So what he's saying is everybody will take some. Esau desires to have it all. Okay? He's the type of thief that he come in to steal the jewelry, and now he's stealing everything else in the place. He said, I came for the jewelry, but man, this is a good bed. And he's picking the bed and TV off the wall. You didn't come in for that. But he's that type of thief that he's going to steal everything. Nobody can have anything. That's what he says. And how are the things stretched out? Grape gatherers was finished once their basket is full. He's just going to make another basket. He said, next time I go there, I got to get a bigger basket. Because he's not leaving nothing. Right? Read on.
All the men of thy confederacy.
All the men of thy what?
Confederacy.
All the men of thy confederacy. It's not a coincidence that they fly the Confederate flag. That Confederate flag is biblical, spiritual, because they know who they are. Right? That's why they have these confederacies, and the Confederates represent Esau that's not having these other nations. Because that's the Esau that's written about in this Bible. Okay? Read on.
Have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee.
Come on.
They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee.
Right.
There is none understanding in him.
Come on.
Shall I not in that day, say of the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom?
Don't you see that's happening? What's happening today? The wise men of Edom is destroyed. We look at the news, we spend more time laughing for what we see in the news. They can't believe the things we hear coming out of people's mouths. Right? He says, is this for real? These guys really, you would think it's some sort of joke. These are the leaders of the top nation of the earth, right? Making all kind of errors and mistakes and saying all kind of loose, you know what I mean? What did he say, y'all? He told Kim Jong he best not. Who uses language like that? I said, you're the president talking about you best not. That's something we said in high school, in elementary school. You best not touch me. Right? That's little kids talk like that. But these are the lead. This is the president of this country. He's holds a top office of honors. And all those underneath him is just as simple as he is. Okay. The whole situation is that what we're seeing is this prophecy unfolded right before your faces. You're seeing all the wise men. There used to be a time where Esau thought I walked around, he had all the answers. Now we don't trust nothing he said. Right? He had all the answers, all the scientists. Now all the scientists is telling them that everything we did is we messed up the earth, man. We messed up the food. Yeah? They got people out there in Texas drowning. And what they claiming, global warming is the reason. Okay? For this adverse weather. But it ain't about global warming, it's about the Most High judgment. And they can make all the excuses and make all the accusations they want. We know biblically this is all prophesied. So it has to go down, it has to happen. All right, we know.
Shall I not in that day, say the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom,
right,
and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Come on.
And thy mighty man, O T-man, shall be dismayed.
Right, thy mighty man, O T-man, shall be dismayed. Where's T-man? Where's where T-man is? Anybody know T-man's at? No. Thy mighty man, O T-man. That's a trick question, boy. I'm going to let y'all marinate that question. Somebody tell me where T-man is at. Read on.
To the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by the slaughter.
That's right. Every one of the mount of Esau shall be cut off by the slaughter. So I don't know how someone could read this prophecy and think that they're going to the kingdom with us, when the Bible clearly states that every one of the mount of Esau shall be cut off by the slaughter. Read on.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee.
Come on.
And thou shalt be cut off forever.
Right, and thou shalt be cut off how long?
Forever.
For the violence that thou had towards Jacob, because you remember when Jacob got the blessing, Esau was ready to kill Jacob, and has wanted to kill Jacob since then. Right? Hold that, give me Ezekiel 35 and 5. This war between Esau and Jacob is way above what you see in the news now, police brutality, things of that sort. They trying to dumb it down or diminish it. This is a spiritual battle between us and the white man. This is not something that we can reason our way out of. All right, this has to come to a head. All right, because it's biblically prophesied. Read that.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Come on. In the time of their calamity. Come on. In the time that their iniquity had end. Come on. Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High Power, come on, I will prepare thee unto blood.
Unto what?
Unto blood.
He said, as I live, saith the Most High. The Most High liveth? Huh? He's Most High said, as I live, as long as I'm alive, I'm going to prepare Esau for blood. You will not survive what you have done. You won't get over it. You will not get away with it. This is what the Father said. All right, what you got back there?
T-Man, the grandson of Esau.
Right, so T-Man referring to Edom. All right, and one of their pride cities of Edom. All right, that's T-Man. All right, read on.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast said, since thou hast not hated blood.
Right. Yeah, let's start over.
Therefore, as I live,
Ezekiel
35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, right, even blood shall pursue thee.
Come on.
Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and will cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth.
So how do we know this is talking about Edom? How do we know the scripture is talking about Edom or Esau? It didn't say Edom or Esau. How do we know that's what it's talking about? Mount Seir. Hold that and give me Genesis. Genesis 36. Only the 1. And 8 and 8. Read 8 and then read 1. Huh? We're going to Genesis 36, verse 8. And we're also going to read verse 1. And what we've proven is, how is Mount Seir related to Esau? How do we know that Ezekiel 35 and 5 is talking about Esau? All right? Or Edom. Because Esau's name was changed to Edom. Right? We're going to get that all straightened out. Read that.
Genesis chapter 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom.
Esau is Edom. Everybody see that? Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is Edom. It's important to understand these when you go through the prophecies in the Bible, you understand what you're reading. Because if you didn't know that, then you wouldn't know who Ezekiel was talking about. You know? Now we know that the perpetual hatred that Esau has for Jacob cannot be questioned, cannot be stopped. Our people are out there marching. Black Lives Matter. They are creating foundations. Every time another, I would say, little Jacob gets killed, there's another foundation created. Well, you know, this person foundation, this foundation, that foundation. Every time a little girl, a little boy gets shot, okay, they constantly building some foundation because they think they can take a ransom. You cannot, the parents might accept the ransom. They might accept the money and feel better because the money is coming. But that don't mean the Most High is good with that. Because remember, our lives we belong to Him. We are lent to each other for a time period. Right? I got you for a little. You my brother for a time period. You my son for a time period. You my sister for a time period. Right? But then that time period expires. After that time period expires, we have no longer a relation because we back to the Father. But your relationship with the Father is eternal. You always belong to the Most High. Even when you're here bodily, you belong to the Most High. All right? Us that's in Hamashiach Yahushua, we belong to Yahushua. Okay? So we might be satisfied. The parents might be satisfied with a little foundation and a couple of t-shirts, right? People wearing hoodies and stuff like that. They might be good with that. But that doesn't mean the Most High is good with that. Most High still saying, you killed my son. He said, Israel is my firstborn. Okay? There's another relationship happening that the Most High is not going to forgive. Okay? He's not as forgiving as we are. He can't be ransomed and paid off. Right? No one can give a ransom for our life. You can't pay the Most High for a life of the children of Israel. He will only be satisfied with the blood of those that shed it. Okay? We're going to prove all the things. Read on where you're at.
Where verse 8?
You're starting on 36. All right, drop 36. Go back to Ezekiel 35 and 6.
Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Most High, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, since thou hast not hated blood.
Right.
Even blood shall pursue thee.
Right.
Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth.
Drop that, I go back to Obadiah. So he said he's going to cut off Mount Seir. He's going to destroy. Who's he referring to? Esau. Edom. Where are we at in Obadiah?
Verse 9.
Verse 9? All right.
Yeah, Obadiah verse 9. And thy mighty men, O T-Man, shall be dismayed, to the end that every one of Mount Seir and Mount Esau may be cut off by slaughter.
Right.
For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away the captive his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem, even thou wast as one of them. For thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, in the day that he became a stranger, neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction, neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of my people in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity.
Right, so what did they do? They took over our lands, They took over our names. They painted themselves as us. They did everything in the day of our calamity. As soon as they knew the Father wasn't with us, they made a mockery of us. Okay? They came and stole everything. Moses said, y'all should have done this. Y'all should have done this. That you want to receive judgment for these actions. Read on.
Nor have laid hands on their substance.
Right? They should have took our stuff. They took the whole Jerusalem. Everything that was in there. They took the temple, everything. The Father said you shouldn't have took that. You shouldn't have done these things. Because you've done these things, you will not be forgiven. You will have to be judged. Read on.
Nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape.
Right.
Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen.
Right.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Right. As thou hast done, it's going to be done unto you. He said the time is nigh to all the heathen. As they have done unto us, it shall be done unto them. A lot of people don't want to accept that, but that's what the Father is. And that's to be the patience. That's the patience of the saints. That we know that the Father is He's going to rectify us. We know this. We're not here just in vain. We know that the Most High is going to set this straight. And our oppressor will be oppressed. Those that killed our foreparents, they in return. Everybody seen Birth of a Nation? Who saw Birth of a Nation? Okay, if you haven't seen Birth of a Nation, go see Birth of a Nation. Okay. How about 12 Years as a Slave? Okay. These are refreshers, because a lot of times we get caught up in our little life. And our small, the scriptures say our lives like a vapor. That's how short our lifespan is. That we need history to find out why we are where we're at. What happened? How did this place in which we dwell now get formed? If you don't know any history, if you don't know where you're from, you can't possibly know where you're at. And you have no direction to move forward. History is very important. So as young people, older people, everybody, they put these movies out every once in a while. It's our responsibility to know and see and get this information, along with books and documentaries and things of that sort, which can get more real information. But these movies as well are good for us to, as just a reminder. Who's seen Rosewood? Okay. A lot of our people even haven't seen Rosewood. These are reminders. These are very important movies to have recollection of how we were treated as a people and how these people really feel about us behind closed doors. Okay? Tell me what we're
Oh, we're on the 32 seconds.
Is that what it says? Satisfied with blood? What's it?
Remember the days of old?
Oh, remember the days of old. Okay. I really would like to see you find what it says, satisfied with blood. Don't look it up. What verse that is. It's in Deuteronomy. Read on.
Verse 15. For the day of the Most High is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
Right.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Right.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Shall be what?
Deliverance.
Right, but upon us shall be deliverance. So when the heathen is getting judgment, that's your deliverance. That's when you're going to get deliverance. That's when you're going to get the salvation that we speak about, that they pray about, that they sing about. They sing of salvation, but they realize that there's judgment with the salvation. There's with the deliverance, there's destruction. The day of the Lord is darkness and it's not light. It's a dreadful day, but it's a day that must come to pass. If we would like deliverance and salvation, then our enemy must be taken down. Everybody understand that? Read on.
But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame.
Right? Who's the house of Joseph? That's Ephraim and Manasseh, right? Today it will be called who? Who's Ephraim? Puerto Ricans, right? Right? And Manasseh? Say Cubans, right? Right. But sometimes you can say, because in Puerto Rico, there was two groups of people. There was the Taino and the Boricua. Okay? So you really look at it, some breakdowns I see that they go for Ephraim and Manasseh, meaning Taino and the Boricua. But we know for sure Ephraim is definitely from Puerto Rico. Okay? So these are, he said Ephraim and Judah, that means the southern and the northern tribe, because Ephraim was over the northern tribe, right? And Judah was over the southern tribes, when the tribes split, all right? Jeroboam and Rehoboam. So he said, both sides of Israel, all Israel shall be what? A fire against what? We don't.
And the house of Jacob shall be a fire.
Right.
And the house of Joseph a flame.
Come on.
And the house of Esau for stubble.
Esau for what?
For stubble.
What does a fire do to stubble? If you light up some stubble, some dry branches, what's going to happen? They're going to burn them up. Okay, so according to the word, Israel is going to destroy these nations. Read on.
And they shall kindle in them and devour them.
And do what?
And devour them.
Read on.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
No, I thought they were going to the kingdom.
And there shall not be any remaining.
I thought they could be saved.
And there shall not be any remaining.
Christ came.
And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau.
There shall be none remaining of the house of Esau. None? So don't let any doctrine or understanding or breakdown or some just last week understanding come out and tell you that Esau is going to be in the kingdom. He's not going to the kingdom. There will be none left of the tribe of Esau. But before he goes, before he's totally destroyed, he has to work. He has to slave first. Okay? Right? We're going to make a deal. I mean, like, find something worse than cotton fields trying to do. But you got to do something. But according to the scriptures, you got to build our walls. All right? He has to work. Okay? Give me Revelations 13, verse 9. Revelations 13, verse 9. If everybody can be saved, who is this talking about here? Read on.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Come on.
He that leadeth into captivity.
He that what?
He that leadeth into captivity.
He that led the 12 tribes of Israel into captivity. Read on.
Shall go into captivity.
Shall go into captivity. Read on.
He that killeth with the sword.
He that killed the 12 tribes of Israel with the sword. Read on.
Must be killed with the sword.
Must be killed with the sword. Read on.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
It's the patience and the faith of you saints. That's your patience and your faith. So don't let anybody come with any kind of twisted doctrine to make you believe anything different. Okay. The Father said he's going to put judgment on these nations that came against us. He said, those that bless you shall be blessed. They curse you, they will be cursed. All that wickedly will receive for their wickedness. These heathens will pay. There's no ransom. You can't pay the Most High off. They can't even pay them off for good works. Let's say they decide to keep the commandments and I'm a good Edomite. Can my good works, get me in? That's not going to work. It's too late. Good Proverbs 6:35.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 35. He will not regard any ransom.
He will not what?
Regard any ransom.
The Most High said, I will not regard any ransom. I don't care what you try to give me. Right? Read on.
Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Right? Though thou givest many gifts, meaning he'll never be content. Oh, I got another one. Get Hebrews 12. Hebrews 12. There's no payback. There's no, I turned over a new leaf. I'm good now. I see the light. There's no seeing the light. There's nothing you can do. This is written. It's done. Yep, we'll get that too. But let me get this here first. Hebrews 12. Yeah, you can start with 16, 17.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau,
right?
Who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright.
They said there's no profane person on the earth like Esau, who sold his birthright for a morsel of raw meat. Read on.
For ye know how that afterward he would have inherited the blessing.
Right? He would have been the one blessed. The kingdom would have been for him. Read on.
He was rejected.
He was what?
Rejected.
He was what?
Rejected.
Understand that Esau is rejected. So there's no way, there's no breakdown, there's no understanding somebody can bring you to have you believe that Esau is going to be walking around in the kingdom with you. Right? It ain't happening. Not out of this body. Okay. A lot of people was upset with Joel Osteen. You know? But he closed the door. But he was just being himself, man. I don't understand what they was upset about. He has this big, beautiful mega church. He don't want y'all wet people in here smelling up this place. He don't want you in there. I'm General Austin. I'm making, I'm making bread. I got money coming to me all different kind of ways. I don't need to do this. We got to build this $1 billion mega church, and you want to run in here with all your bad children breaking up my stuff? No. Let every place, if you have no other place to stay, then you can come stay. All right? And you know what? Bet you this church packed tomorrow. I bet you. First day we're coming out. Still, don't worry about it, Joe. I know you. I know your heart's in the right place. It is in the right place, right in hell. He's a demon. Right? One of the top demons one of the top deceivers. Our people believe in that, man. Our people really believe that, man. They listen to his sermons. Young Jakes, too. Keeping that man props, General. I can't believe what I be hearing. I said, you know not the Father to believe in this man. What's that?
What's his name?
General Olstein. Right? He's on TV, one of those prosperity ministers. Real smooth with it, though. He always got that stupid smile on his face. Right? I always can't see that wipe that smile off his face. Right? Every day I'd be smiling too if I was that rich. You know what I was saying?
What are you calling him?
Joel? I call him Gerald. I gotta screw his name up. Joel Osteen. Joel. Osteen. Joel Osteen? I know. Joel Osteen and Joel Osteen is the same thing. Right? I think everybody know what I was talking about. They know I was talking about Joel from the corner store. Right? You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, Joel, for those that want to just be meticulous on things, Joel Osteen. Okay, now you better now. He is a D-man. All right. That guy. Right? What do you call it? Walking charcoal. There it is. All right. So they saw up in arms because he didn't want to let the people in. The people out there drowning, they got no place to stay. He got a mega stadium of a church, but he don't want to open the door. Yeah? I'm not opening the door. You got to be kidding me. He said, man, when every place else is full, and just no place else, I'll let a few up in here. Y'all ain't going to come over here and pack my church. Right?
The church is not safe.
Yeah, it's not safe. According to him, yeah. But you didn't be there Sunday, though. That collection plate got to go around. Yeah, they got to blow him up. He's a devil. He's a deceiver. Why are you surprised when the white man lies to you? He should be lying to you. That's what he's been doing all night. Look, people be so shocked. Oh, he lied. Oh my God. Why are you shocked that he lied to you? He's a demon. But we are so stuck on believing in this nation. We trust him with all our heart. We trust him. Our people trust this man. I'm trying to tell you, it's hard to break the relationship between the black man and the white man. The black man has learned to trust this man with his life, which he feels he cannot prosper without him. He can't do without him. Okay? He has become a dependent on this man. That if you ever come with a thought that's independent of the white man, right? Other people of your own people gonna come against you. They say we racist because we exclude them. Right? Then I say, what's so bad about being racist? Because racist means you're about your race, you're about your people. Right? A chemist is about chemistry. Right? It just means this is what you're about. You're looking for the preservation. You're looking to determine the needs of your people. If some of us don't be racist, listen, America was built on racism. Right? Esau felt so strong about his race that he had no regard to the people that was here when he got here. Right? He didn't say, oh man, they're here already. What they say, first come, first serve. Or you here already, so I guess you got to go back home. Right? No, he said, man, the whole y'all. We are a better race. We're going to kill 77 million of you and take over this land.
See, it goes to what you were saying earlier about them not being satisfied. Because initially they over here for religious, like.
That's the biggest lie ever. They never came over here for religious freedoms.
Yeah.
They never did that. That never was the case. That's propaganda and lies. I think I should have brought my book with me. I didn't read my book with me. Because I was just reading about that earlier today. That was never the idea. That was the idea that was painted and portrayed to seem like what? What we're doing is for noble causes. They knew who was over here, and they came over here for that one mission. When they teach our children about Christopher Columbus, is the biggest lie ever. Okay? That's a straight, bold-faced lie. He wasn't searching for spice in India and calling him Indian because he thought he was an Indian. He is not an Indian. Matter of fact, he was a lot of people don't know Christopher Columbus, number one, was not his original name, right? Right? He was a Jew, okay? And he was very educated on maps and geography. He knew exactly where he was going. He knew what the mission was. He grabbed warrior men to go with him, called conquistadors, conquerors. If you're looking for spice, what's the conquerors about? Right? You go to the supermarket with a gun, or do you go with money? Right? So you knew what you was doing. He knew what he was doing. He came with that full intent to slaughter. But what happened was, when he first came, he failed. And I don't know about that history. He failed miserably. His people died. They didn't make it. Right? Diseases took over. Right? They didn't make it through the first winter. All right? So some made it back. And then when he came back again, he came back more prepared this time. And he came back to conquer and kill and plunder. And that's what he did. The 13 colonies was here before he got here. A lot of people don't know this history. There was already 13 colonies. He didn't create 13 colonies. They didn't colonize it. We already had 13 districts down the side of the western coast. The tribes of Gad and Reuben. All right? They already had organization here. They came fully aware of what they was coming to do. All right? And they carried it out. There's a movie called 1492. Anybody ever seen that movie? If you watch 1492, they even given some more truth. They didn't even paint that lie that they were coming over here for religious freedom. They kind of gave a little bit more information. They slipped it in there in 1492. I need to see that movie. Right? That they came to what land? Puerto Rico. But it's called Puerto Rico today. That's where he landed. And he came to pillage, plunder, and destroy and enslave the natives on that land. That's what he did. So, check that movie out, 1492. You get a little more history, a little bit of knowledge. Okay? The school system that we are underneath, the educational system, is full of propaganda. Okay? You understand? It's about the preservation of their nation. And it only makes sense. If they come out straight and tell you the wickedness that they did, the people might revolt against them. So they got to give you a story that you can digest, something that you can relate to. So that you can say, oh, well, they came for this, and, and then they, The intent of the heart of the men were always to destroy and to take over. All right? We just read about it. He said that the grape gatherers would have took enough. Anybody else would have stopped. You already had Europe. You already took over Israel. You took over Northern Africa. You got most of the Middle East in check. You're in Asia. Now you're coming to America too. You hit Central America. You didn't stop there. You went to South America, North America. You went over to Canada, Iceland, Greenland. You took over everywhere. You didn't stop. Now you want to take over Mars. You keep working on that one. You keep working on that one. All right? You want to capture the moon. This is his ideas. Okay, this is the way he thinks. I'm going to capture the moon. I'm going to own it. I'm going to put a hotel on that moon. Right? This is the way he thinks. We don't think like him, so sometimes we try to relate, we try to make up an understanding that, because we don't think that way. We have ours, we good with ours. If the Most High blesses us with a good place and we comfortable, we don't want the neighbor's place. He don't think that way. He's looking to have a beautiful mansion, and he there looking at the neighbor like, I need to tear that down. I don't want that house next to me. We good with our spot. It's a different manner of person that was separated from Rebecca. Two different mind states. We don't think the way they think. Once you realize that, then you can more understand what they do and why they do it. Right? It's a spiritual drive that they're driven to take, to steal. Okay? To control. If something is around that they don't control, they got to gain control of it. All right? We're more of a people, if something is out of our control, we give it to the Most High. Well, that's just the Lord, man. I don't have no control over that. Most High got that. He don't accept that thought pattern. He's like, no, I got to be able to control this somehow. Right? To the point where he wants to create earthquakes and create weather. Right? He can't just let weather be weather. No, let's try to create weather. Let's try to make it warm over here and cold over here. They got the scientists doing all kinds of madness. Right? But that's why he's been rejected. Okay, let's finish that verse. Hebrews 12:16, one more time.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward he would have inherited the blessing. He was rejected, for he found no place of repentance.
Right.
Though he sought it carefully with tears.
Yeah, he's going to seek repentance. He's going to want to join the kingdom. He's going to want to be a part of what's happening. You know what I mean? But there's no place for him. There's no place for him. All right? They will not inherit the kingdom. They will be destroyed. But when we talk about Esau, that's why I can use Esau and Edom. It's not about skin complexion. Let me tell you something about that. It's not about skin complexion. Okay? We talk about Esau, Edom, that's a spirit that's within a man. That's a nation of people. They can look many different ways. Okay? They can be dark skinned, they can be light skinned, they can be everything in between. Okay? They have that spirit of Esau upon them. Okay? The seed carries the spirit. A man's seed carries the spirit. All right? The seed of man carries the spirit. When that seed goes forth into the woman carries attributes. And that brings forth the child. Right? Now, if that seed of man, right, and he's implanting that seed into these other nations, these children might come out looking like these other nations. And you know, the seed of Jacob and Israel, we've known to deal with all these nations. Okay? During the time, Vietnam, a lot of our soldiers, of our people, they went out there and had babies. They didn't bring those babies back here with them. They couldn't bring their rifles back here. It wasn't. They went out there in the jungle. They had babies and all kind of stuff. Where are those Israelites at? Growing up over there in Vietnam, and thinking that they didn't even know the Hebrew Israelites. But they're gonna know they're different than the people around them. And sooner or later they're gonna realize, why am I so different? Why is my mannerisms different? Why do I think different? Right? I don't understand the people that I'm around. And that goes for all the nations. Our seed is sown in all the nations. So when I say Esau or the white man, we're referring to his biblical origin. But he could not actually be white sometimes. Okay? He could slide in looking like somebody else. Okay, so just be mindful of not being caught up with appearance. Okay, give me Hosea 8:8. Hosea 8:8.
The book of Hosea, chapter 8, verse 8.
Right.
Israel is swallowed up.
Israel is what?
Swallowed up.
Israel is swallowed up. Read on.
Now shall they be among the Gentiles, as a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
Right. So now we swallowed up amongst the Gentiles, but we that vessel where there's no pleasure. So we're amongst these nations, but we still somehow can't get it together. Because the curses don't care what you look like. The curses just care who you are. So no matter if you could be looking like these other nations, but you living like Jacob. Right? You can't, certain curses just on you. And you're like, why can't I be like the other one, these other Koreans out here? Because you're a Hebrew, man. You ain't no Korean. You just look like us, somewhat, right? I'm on. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. We go there now. Daniel's 9:7. So I want to understand about the confusion of faces and bodies. Okay, this is a spirit. The spirit dwells in the seed of man. When a man plants the seed, that's where the spirit goes. right? Like I said, if a man plant a seed in a Korean woman and have a baby, the baby looks halfway Korean, halfway Jake. Okay. Why is it that baby that takes a Korean woman and plants a seed? What is that child? That child's still Israel. But now he really look Korean, right? Because he's like two generations removed from his true lineage. So I want you to understand that because the facial is, and the body doesn't necessarily dictate the spirit. Okay, read that.
Daniel chapter 9, verse 7. O Most High, righteousness belongeth unto thee,
right?
But unto us confusion of faces.
Exactly, confusion of faces. You see, there used to be a time where we knew Israel. We could just look and see Israel and know Israel because we looked like each other. The tribes had certain looks to them, and our tribes were pure. We didn't even marry. We didn't even intertribal marry at one time. Levites stayed with the Levites. Judites stayed with the Judites. Ephraim stayed with Ephraim. It was like that at one time. Then in time past, we started to intermingle between the tribes. Okay? And then in time past, we started to intermingle between the nations. Okay? But originally, we were able to determine, I can look at a guy, oh, he Levi. Without even speaking to him. Right? Read on.
As at this day, to the men of Judah, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel,
right,
that are near, and that are far off, though all the countries whither thou hast driven them, because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against you.
Right. Right. So because of the trespass, it's just we don't.
O Most High, to us belongeth confusion of faces, to our kings, to our princes, and to our fathers, right, because we have sinned against thee. Because we have sinned against you, so that's a curse, man. The confusion of face is a curse. It's not, they used to try to teach us younger, that's the most beautiful children, the children that mix between the nations. No. You know, children of the Most High are beautiful in their own right. You mixing with Esau will make you a more beautiful child. They say, well, but he got the good hair. Right? That's nonsense. Right? That's nonsense. Okay. That's part of self-hatred that was taught. But the children of Israel had many types of complexions and hair textures. And they got everything in Israel. They got 12 tribes, 12 flavors. Right? That's all different types and kinds you got in Israel. You're not going to deal with these other nations. But, that's, Jacob, he can never be satisfied. Right? When he comes to these women, he'll be like Solomon. Right? 700, what was it, 700 wives? 400 concubines? He can't be satisfied. He even had all these wives and still went Bathsheba. The Most High said, I would have gave you more women. Why would you go take this man's wife? Right? I said, you just asked me, I gave you more. Can't be satisfied. Okay? So, because of our wickedness, this is the condition. We got the confusion of faces. But understand, you can never confuse the spirit or the seed. The seed is the seed. The spirit is the spirit. That stays pure. You cannot splice the seed. You cannot splice the spirit. You can only splice the flesh. Everybody understand that? Only the flesh can be mixed. The seed of the spirit is still pure. Okay? So if you belong to the Most High, you belong to the Most High, and nobody can take that away from you. Okay? All right, so we're going to get into the portion. Just want to go through, we're going to be going through a lot of foundation understandings and lessons and teaching. The teachings that came to us from the beginning. Knowing who Esau is a foundation understanding. Nowadays, you got people, they in the Bible, they in the history books, they're confused, they're coming with all these different understandings of who they think Esau is. But it's clear when you go through the prophecy who he is. All right?
we seek to stamp out all of those, what I call YouTube breakdowns. Right? We're going to get down to the nitty-gritty, to what was taught from the beginning. Okay, so we're going to go on, I'm on YouTube, so I can't talk bad about it. But there's some breakdowns that some young men unlearned are putting out there. And people believe it. Deuteronomy 21 and 10 to 25:19. Deuteronomy 21 and 10, let's start there.
The book of Deuteronomy 21 verse 10. When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Most High thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman,
right,
and has a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife,
right,
then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails.
So now, let's read this again. Read it from the beginning.
Verse 10. When thou goest forth to war.
When thou what?
Goest forth to war.
So what is this law referring to? When thou what? Huh? Away from your home. Why are you away from your home? Going on a journey? Going on a little journey. So I'm not home, so I guess I'll take one of these other wives. No. What does the scripture say? What is this referring to? War. When thou goest forth to war. This is what the scripture is talking about. See, a lot of times we read the scripture, we miss the context. This is a law given to the warrior men that went forth to the battle, that left out of Israel and went up ahead of their camp, and they went to do the battles and the fights. Okay? Sometimes we used to go off to war for years. Right? We'll be out on the front lines for years. Even today, we got, like I'm talking about Vietnam, right? Our brothers out there in Vietnam, of course they was going to take the women out in Vietnam. What were they going to do? They can't come back home. I need to take a general, I need to go back home. I need to see the wife. And I'll be back next week. No, you out at war. You are out there till you finish the mission. While you are out there, right, you're going to be a woman. The Most High understands that. Right? According to the law, the Father said the men are not to be without women, and a women are not to be without men. Okay? Husband and wives. Okay? That's in the Father. He said he made two, said be fruitful and multiply. Okay? He made woman for the man. Everybody understand that? That's clear in the scriptures. And you can go over there and you're not clear. Okay? Read.
When thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, and the Most High thy power delivered them into thine hand, and thou hast taken them captive.
So now you went out to war, you destroyed your enemies. The Most High delivered them into your hand. That means you took them down. You're about to capture the area. You're about to take down all their warrior men. You killed them off. Right? You're spoiling them now. You're taking all their riches. Everything they have of value belongs to you now because you done destroyed this enemy. Read on.
And seest among the captives a beautiful woman.
And among the captives, the people that you kept captive, the ones that you didn't kill, that you saw these beautiful women. Read on.
And has a desire unto her.
And then you have a desire unto this woman. Say, man, you know what? I really like that woman. Right? You had a desire unto her. But man, she really look good. Right? Read on.
That thou wouldst have her to thy wife.
To the point where you would say, you know what? I can have this woman in my household. And thou wouldst have her as your wife. Meaning that what? You would keep her. Okay? That's the main understanding of wife. That means what? It is a, how long does marriage last? Forever. That means she will be a keeper, as they say nowadays, right? Read on.
Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house.
Then you bring her back to Israel. You capture her. You don't leave her out there. you bring her back to thy home. Well, no, actually, it's not your house. It's not back to Israel. This is back to your bunker, back to where you're stationed. Right? Because you're still up there in the back. You take her back to where you're stationed. Read on.
And she shall shave her head, and pare her nails.
That means she should cut her nails, right? That's just cutting her nails off, short, right? And shave her head. Why do you think she had to shave her head and cut her nails? For what reason? Contamination, right? It's in my class. Contamination, right? In your nails and in your hair is what you've been ingesting. Okay? If anybody knows, you go for a drug test and you urine, that only goes back so far. They can swab the inside of your mouth. That goes back a little further. If they take your hair, that says a whole lot. Okay? That says a whole lot. So they can go back and analyze your hair and see all kinds of substances that's been in your body. So the reason being, she had to shave her hair, and cut her nails to take away all those impurities, right? Read on.
And she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, right? And shall remain in thy house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. Right,
so you can't touch her yet. She needs to be understanding her father and her mother. She's no longer with them. Right? They're gone, they're dead, they're gone, they're whatever. So she can't be, won't be in a sad state. She has to get over these things. She has to have a time to mourn. All right? This is wartime. Remember, this is wartime. Wartime different than times we live in. All right? She needed her time to mourn. So she have a month. Everything can grow back. Her hair can grow back. Her nails can grow back, you know. And she has a month to mourn her parents and her family. Right? You know?
And after that, thou shalt go in unto her.
Right?
And be her husband. And she shall be thy wife.
Right, so you go in onto her, but you can't go into her and just get rid of her. She got to be now what? She's in your household now. Right, right?
You're talking about that lady, right? Like the other nations.
She is the other nations. She is the other nations. She could be Esau, she could be Moab, Ammon, whatever. Ham, whatever. That's what this situation is talking about. You taking another nation. But we only was taking them in wartime. In war times. Not in our land. We're going to prove that. Okay? Read on.
And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her,
right?
Then thou shalt let her go, whither
right.
she will.
Now, when you take a heathen woman, you're not bound to her like you're bound to an Israelite man. Okay? If you take no delight in this woman, you realize, man, this is a mistake. I cannot stay with this woman for as long as I wanted to. I cannot keep her as a wife, right? For whatever reason, right? She can go. Right? Read on.
But thou shalt not sell her at all for money.
But you can't sell her. Okay, don't get no ideas. Okay? Because if she was just your servant and she did not sleep, you did not sleep with her, you did not wife her, then you can sell her. Because you're selling her as a servant. You understand? A bondmaid, a bondwoman, right? The scriptures tell us that. Hold on, let's get the understanding of bondwoman. Leviticus 25 and 46. Leviticus 25, verse 46. This is what it's comparing it to. How it's different now. Read it.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 46. And ye shall take them as inheritance for your children after you.
45.
Verse 45. Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, and they shall be your possession.
Be your what?
Possession.
Right. So of the nations, you could what? They could be your slave. You could be your possession. Of them, you can buy and sell. But once you lay with this woman and try to wife this woman, you can no longer sell her. Okay. Read on.
And you shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you.
Right? Or you can take her and you can hold on to her and then pass on to your children. And he did that to us, right? When we were in slavery under the white man, your grandmother was a slave. Her children took on her duties. Her children took on her duties we were in this like 5 generations. You were like one of the family. Right? What's that baby name? Oh man, she came out with it. Oh man, it was real popular in the news and everything. The cooking lady, man. She spoke about the servants that they grew with her in the house and said they were like one of the family. Paula Dean, thank you. Say that? Yeah. Paula Dean, right? Paula Dean said they were just like one of the family, right? You grew here, you served my family for generations, and you're gonna continue to serve my family for generations, like you wanted the family. That's what we did. They were like, well, hey, come on, Sally, you know, we passed down. My son, your daughter gonna serve my son, and your daughter's daughter gonna serve my son's son. You're going to be generations of servants unless we sell you to someone else. Okay? And if that's the case, then you're free, then you're gone. You serve that other people. But if you lay with the woman and make the woman your wife, you can no longer sell her. Okay? Go back to Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy 21, verse 14. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Because you humbled her. What does it mean by humble? Because you laid with her. You cannot make merchandise of her. Okay? So even when we dealt with the other nations, we have laws and ethics and morals. We didn't do certain things. Okay? We didn't just, it wasn't whatever we feel like. It wasn't wild. It was according to law. It doesn't change this at all. Yeah. Right? Read on. You'll get to understand as we read on, you'll understand. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. If a man have 2 wives. If a man have what? 2 wives. Does that answer your question? Right? So he had 2 wives. If a man had 2 wives, read on. One beloved and another hated. So now he has 2 wives and one he favors more than the other. Which happens, right? You have 2 wives and now you're favoring one more than the other. It should happen. You should love your wives, you know, the same. But let's say you have a situation where one wife is you get along a lot better with one wife than the other. Read on. And they have borne him children. And they have what? Borne him children. And they both have given you children, the 2 wives. Read on. Both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, right? Then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn, right, before the son of the hated. Everybody understand this? That means you have 2 wives, they both born you children, and you favor one of the wives, so you're closer to one of them than the other. They both have sons, but the one that you're not cool with, she had the first son. Her son is still the heir to your estate. Right? He still gets the right of the firstborn. He still gets the biggest blessing, even though you may favor the other wife more. All right? You might be closer to her more, or the case would be, interact with her better. But that first son is the first son regardless. Okay? You understand that? It's not about you feeling. And what the Most High is showing us, it's not about our feelings. It's about His law. We can feel what you want to feel, but the Most High says this is right and this is wrong. And when we humble ourselves to His law, then we're going to listen and say, "Come, this is what it is." All right, read on. Which is indeed the firstborn, but he shall acknowledge the son of the hated, right, for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion, right, all that he had. For he is the beginning of his strength.
Right.
The right of the firstborn is his.
Right. So the firstborn son is the beginning of the man's strength. Okay, so he gets the double portion. Okay, read on.
Verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son,
right,
which will not obey the voice of his father, or the voice of his mother,
right,
that when they have chastened him,
right,
he will not hearken unto them.
Right. So you have a son. You have a son that will not listen. A wayward son. You will not. You give him rules and he's not keeping the rules. He didn't listen to the father or the mother. He's in the house and he's wild. Right? Read on.
Then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him.
Right.
And bring him out unto the elders of his city.
Right. So we bring him to what? To the judge. And that's what happens today too, right? He ended up get in trouble if you don't listen to his parents, and he want to go see the judge. Right? But this time the parents take them to the judge. Right? Read on.
And unto the gate of his place. And they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard.
He's a what?
A glutton and a drunkard.
What's a glutton? He's greedy, eat up everything. Right? Just bought that cereal today. Boxes in the garbage already. Ate the whole box. And he was a drunkard. Right? Going in the cabinet, filling the bottles back up with water. Right? You're going to have a drink now? You're like, no, it's this. You been in my cabinet? No. They're going to say no every time. But then you realize, well, he a gluttonous and a drunkard. He's drinking up everything and eating up everything in the house. He ain't bought nothing, but he eating up everything. Right? Read on.
Verse 21. And all the men of his city.
All the men of the city are going to hear about this boy. He did what? Let's go down there. Everybody talking about it. Everybody get together and say, what did he do? He drank all the drink. He drank the 12-year-old rum and put water in the bottle. That's disrespect. That's disrespect. You're gonna have a big conference about this boy. And the boy's gonna be standing there as this conference is going down, as they talking about you. Everybody looking at him like, oh yeah, he's about to get it, right? Read on.
And all the men of his city.
And all the men of the city, read on.
Shall stone him.
Shall do what?
Shall stone him.
You're going to kill him. A lot of times we hear that, we go, man, that's rough. But you know what's worse than that? Is that when that boy grows up and he never gets judgment. And he becomes a man to do, that end up killing somebody. End up raping somebody. You see, a lot of these criminals, adult criminals, they had that criminal spirit from when they was a child. But we're afraid to check children in this society. We just say, oh, don't worry about them, let them go ahead. It wasn't like that. We didn't have crime in Israel. We got rid of that situation. Somebody acting crazy, they're going to be on the way out. So everybody walked the straight and narrow. So you can leave your door open. You didn't need an ADT and a camera and an alarm and all these things in a club. Who remembers the club? Right? You don't need those things in our society. Because we got rid of a problem. We got rid of disobedience. Okay? So that boy will be killed. The parents can't control you. You come into the judges have something for you. All the men of that city stoned him in that spot, put him to death. Right?
So shalt thou put evil away from among you.
So shall thou put evil away from among you. That's the lesson. The only way to put evil away is to put it away. Right? That it doesn't come back. Right? So a lot of you might say that's rough. Right now we are the grace and mercy through Mashiach Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ. So we get away with a lot of murder. Right? We get away with all kinds of things. But that grace and mercy has a period that it ends. And even in the midst of this time of grace and mercy, what do we witness? The outcome of sin. You see it every day. Turn the news every day. Somebody's robbed or raped or murdered every day. every day. Okay? And we're not talking about in the world. I'm talking about in Broward. I don't got to come out of Broward. I say every day. Okay? At one point in time, there were people say enough is enough. That we're not allowing this or allowing this behavior amongst our people anymore. That's when judgment comes. And when judgment comes, everything's going to be set straight. There's going to be no more of this. Right? They got areas where everybody knows this man is the raper man. Oh yeah, he's a rapist. And he's just living right there until his next victim. Right? Child molester. They got a registry for child molester. You can go online and see where all the pedophiles live. You don't want to do that because it's going to be a shocker for you, especially in Broward County. Broward County has the highest population of pedophiles out of all Florida. For some reason, they're in Broward County for some reason. I don't know. Right? You go on that registry and there's a little blue dot everywhere a registered sex offender lives, and the whole thing is blue in Broward County. You be like, yo, this is crazy. Right? You start looking at everybody in the store like, right? Hold your children closer. Right? But this is why we serve Yahweh. Because we serve Yahweh because we know the angels cover our children. That's why obedience. Right? If you needed a motivation for your obedience, understand those angels that cover your family is all the motivation you need to do God's will. Okay, read on.
So shall thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
Right.
And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night upon the tree. Right. But thou shalt in any wise bury him that day. For he that is hanged is a curse of the Most High. Right. So you got to remember that was written for us to know what they do with Mashak Yahushua. They left him up there. Okay. Until they had to come and make them take him down. But he that can hang from the tree is a curse. So if you were hung and you were killed, you're supposed to be taken down and buried right away. Okay? But no, these nations, they would hang us from the gallows and our bodies be flapping in the sky. You know what I mean? As a reminder. You know, and that happened all through the South. That probably happened right down Broward Boulevard. And they used to hang us and have us hung. You know what I mean? And as an example, so you ride by, you see what's going to happen to you if you disobey your slave master. Okay, which is a curse. Okay, read on. That thy land be not defiled, which Most High hath given thee for an inheritance. Chapter 22. Thou shalt not see thy brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Yeah, what does that mean? Thou should not see that brother's ox or sheep go astray and hide yourself. What does that mean? You let it die, right? Now, how does that apply to today's terms? To Israel, what do you mean? No, it said the ox and the sheep. It didn't say a person. How does that apply today? Maya? Right? And then what? You what? And do what? Keys in the car and what? And finish it. Right. Yeah. Almost. Without you taking it. But you acting like it has nothing to do with you. We all have something to do with each other. Okay? If I see you that you messed up, if I see something going bad for you, you drop something out your pocket, I'm supposed to say, yo, you dropped something. I don't sit there and go, yo, you dropped something. It's none of my business. It ain't mine. Right? Or you might see my children somewhere
Why now? You might see Malachi doing backflips in this traffic. Oh, that's Malachi. That boy crazy, man. He ain't my son, so I don't care. No, you're supposed to get a rock and hit him upside his head. Right? Your hand first supposed to be upon him. Okay? Then you call me. Right? Don't call me first. Yo, I see my hand. Where's he at? He's still in the traffic doing backflips. No, why you ain't deal with him first? Then call me. Okay? That's how we're supposed to deal with each other. But in this society, people don't accept that. Oh, nobody touch my son. Oh, that's my child. Nobody correct my child until the police come. Right? Tell the police that. Tell the police they can't touch your child. Right? You'd be locked under the cell. Right? We're supposed to be able to. There was a time amongst our people where, listen, somebody saw you doing some foolishness, that person will beat you, bring you home, your parents will beat you twice, one for what you was doing, and the second when somebody saw you. And now you're embarrassed. Right? You're embarrassed. So now you're getting double. But this brought forth correction. Now we see the boy walking down the street, pants sagging, underwear, and showing if he got underwear on. And people just walk and go, that ain't my son, man. Yeah? We say to them, pull your pants up. Where's your belt? We say something, especially if it's a young man, he gonna get it if I see him, right? Yo, you ain't gonna be walking like that when you a faggot. I'm gonna tell you straight. I'm gonna make him feel a certain way. You know what I mean? Because that's nation, right? And that's how nation is built. We ain't gonna just sit back and go, man, he look all jacked up, and we act like he got nothing to do with us. Okay. So this is what this is talking about. Your neighbor's ox or sheep went astray, they left the yard, and you sitting there like, man, you gotta do with me. I got my ox and sheep was right here. He should have tied him up. That's what he get. Good for him. No. You're supposed to go grab that ox or sheep or call that person and say, yo, look, you're about to lose him. You need to tie him up. You got to be your brother's keeper. Be your sister's keeper. Okay, read on.
Thou shalt in any case bring them again to thy brother. And if thy brother be not nigh unto thee, or if thou know him not, then thou shalt bring it unto thine own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it. Right.
So what you see it, you may not know the man. He's not home. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the left the yard or something like that, and you don't act like you don't see. Go get it, put him up. When the guy comes back and say, "Hey, man, you wasn't here. This is what I saw." All right. You know what I mean? You got daughters. Your neighbor got daughters. You see little Wayne creeping in the window of your neighbor's house, right? You're supposed to grab little Wayne, lock him up, tell him, listen, this dude was going in your window when you wasn't home. What you want to do with it? Okay, right? A lot of us ain't brave enough to go there, but the nation is coming back. The thought pattern is coming back to Israel. We're actually going to be each other's keepers. We're going to trust each other. Why? Because we're all going to serve the same God. What's not okay for me will not be okay for you. What's sin for me is sin for you. So if there's something wrong for me, it's wrong for you. And once we get to that common place, that's what the word community comes from. It's from two words. What's the two words? Common unity. Common unity is the unifying of people that have a common understanding. That is what a real community is. We're not a community yet because we have differences and we're not united. Okay? When you come to those things that we all agree on and then unite on those things, then now we can be a community. Now we can really look out for one another. All right? Now we know, if when you falter, you're not just hurting yourself, but you're hurting your neighbors, you're hurting your family, your surroundings. Okay? Puts a lot more strength and pressure to be right. Okay? Read on.
And thou shalt restore it to him again. In like manner shalt thou do with his donkey and so shalt thou do with his raiment, and with all lost things of thy brothers.
Right, all lost things of thy brother. You pick up a phone in here. Oh, somebody lost their cell phone. Anybody got a phone? Nobody say nothing? You don't go, all right, man, I can sell this. No. You put it up, you hold on to it, and you wait to hear somebody say, yo, I lost a cell phone. You write it on the board. Yo, anybody lost a cell phone, I have it. It's so simple. Right? Very simple. You can't find nothing in here. Your people got to belong to somebody. Right? Read on.
Which he hath lost, and thou hast found. Shalt thou do likewise. Thou mayest not hide thyself. Thou shalt not see thy brother's donkey or his ox fall down by the way, and hide thyself from them.
Right. Right, read on.
Thou shalt surely help him to lift them up again.
Right, so you see, now we don't have oxen and donkeys, but what? You see your boy, you crossing 441, and you see Heskel pushing his car down the street. You're supposed to make a U-turn and get with the Heskel, have him push the car. That not later on, when he come here later on, the dad has, I saw you out there pushing that car. Man, that thing look heavy. But Israel does things like this. But you saw me? Or you get to the school later and everybody knows you was pushing your car. You came and told everybody you saw me? Nobody said, yo, get this man a hand. These are things in this society that we live in that take place. But we as Hebrews are not to be that way. This is laws, these are our laws, these are ethical laws, these are our laws of nationhood. This is how we're supposed to deal with each other. If you got a problem, we got a problem. Let's work on fixing the problem. Okay? They don't say it's your problem, it's not my problem. Okay? A lot of times we do that because we don't trust one another. Yeah? And a lot of times we don't trust one another because we're not honest with one another. So it all boils, it's a snowball effect. Why we're so separated. If we really trust each other from the door and our decisions, and we all have that common thought pattern, that community, then what? We can help each other a lot easier. Yeah. So just all things to think about as we go into, as the Father is calling us back to being a nation once again. All right, we don't.
The book of Deuteronomy 22, verse 5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment.
Right, so a woman should not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. Okay. Let me call somebody. Let's see here. Malachi, stand up. And why not? Naomi, stand up. Come, both of y'all come and stand in front of us. Stand right there, side by side. No, because a lot of times we read these scriptures and people get confused. If Malachi was wearing what Naomi has on, would that not be a woman's garment? Clearly? Would there be a problem with that if Malachi came dressed like Naomi? Right? Would y'all rebuke him? I hope y'all would rebuke him. You know what I mean? The Levites would be gathering stones. Right? If Naomi came with what Malachi has on, would that not be a man's garment? Right? Would y'all rebuke her? I hope you would rebuke her. You see, what it is we need to clarify in our minds. Our minds have been warped in this kingdom. That we think there's some sort of clothes called unisex. There is no unisex clothing. Okay? There's men clothing and women clothing. Now there's some clothing that Esau made that you ain't too sure. A lot of these shirts he's making for men nowadays, they look like blouses, right? You have to use the spirit of discernment when you go to the store. You can't just go to the men's section and say, well, it was in the men's section. Because homosexuals run the clothing industry. Everybody understand that? That's on both sides. That's lesbians, whatever you want to call them, running for the women, and whatever you want to call them, running for the men. So now when you go to the clothing store, when you go to the clothing store, you can't just look at the sign. You have to look at the clothing. And you have to say, yes, this is in the female section, but man, this looks like a man's clothing. You have to say that. You have to do your discernment. And you want to dress like a lady all the time. All right? Some people think it's cool to dress like a boy. You're a girl. I got my boy clothes on today. And I'm cool. I'm macho like that. Right? But that's sinful. Okay? It's sinful. And we're trying to take the sin away. Right? If you, a man, you go to a man clothing store, you go to Macy's, in the man's section, and they got some of them shirts that, they're a little too shimmery, a little too, too many folds in the shirt. You got to wonder about that shirt. So wait a minute, this shirt ain't too masculine. All right? All kind of frillies up in. If you look historically, look at George Washington. Historically, look at the way those men dress. They dress like women. Right? There was a bunch of homos. Y'all don't realize that. They got the curly wig on, and they have the frills up in there, and we think it's not cool. Okay? There's a feminine vibration on the clothing. Right? You have to be mindful of what that is when you see it. Okay? This is a man's clothes. This is a female's clothes. Very simple to see. If they switch clothing, it would still be the same. I know for a lot of us, it would be clearer if Malachi was wearing Naomi's clothes. You could clearly see that's woman's clothes. But a lot of us still on the fence if she was wearing Malachi's clothes. Why? Because our women have been trained to wear men's clothes over society, generations. They've been trained to wear men's clothes. But we coming out of that training. All right? We want to be ladies, and we want to be men in the Most High. Come? All right, you can sit down throughout for your assistance. All right? Clearly. Dress like women, our sisters, dress like ladies. If you're not sure, and there's it's borderline, amen. When in doubt, I don't know what that says, that saying. When in doubt, do without. That's what I do. If I'm not sure, I'm leaving it alone. If something looks a little too feminine, I'm leaving it alone. If I get a little vibration from it, nope. I don't got to worry. I don't got to push the envelope. I don't have to push the borderline. Okay? You don't get no reward for that. For almost looking wicked. You know what I mean? So stay far away from those lines. All right? Come? All right. Let's read on.
For all that do so are abomination unto the Most High thy power.
All that do what?
So are an abomination unto the Most High thy power.
If you wear men's garments, and you're a female, you're an abomination to the Most High. If you're a male and you put on women's clothes, you are an abomination to the Most High. How does the Most High feel about abominations? How do we know he hates them? How do we know he hates abominations? How do we know that the Most High hates abominations? What scripture is that?
I don't know the scripture.
You should know the scripture, right? You should know the scripture, right? Because you have to learn. You can't come here every week and not learn. Okay? It's important that you retain the information that you get here. And this is the information that's going to save you from making errors and being sad later on. Okay? What you got? Exactly. Ecclesiastes 15:13. Read that. This information is what's going to save your life. All right. Ecclesiastes 15, verse 13.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 15, verse 13. The Most High hateth all abomination, and they that fear the Most High love it not.
Right. The Most High hateth all abominations. And he that loves the Most High, read that again. Let's read it one more time. Right here.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 15, verse 13.
Uh-huh.
The Most High hateth all abomination,
right?
And they that fear the Most High,
and they that fear the Most High, we don't
love it not.
You supposed to hate it too. If the Father hates it, you supposed to hate it. You ain't supposed to love what the Father hates. Then your love is misconstrued. Okay? You're supposed to align yourself with the Most High. If he say it's good, then it's good. If he say it's wicked, then it's wicked. It's awful. It's hated. Love the righteousness. Hate the wickedness. Matter of fact, give me that scripture too. Psalms 97 verse 10. Psalms 97 verse 10.
The book of Psalms, chapter 97, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
He that loveth the Most High hate evil.
Right.
He preserveth the souls of his saints.
Right. He that loveth the Most High hate evil. We gotta hate evil if we love the Most High. What was that love you to hate evil? What was that Psalm? No, Isaiah 5? Check Isaiah 5. 5 and 13. More to the point. No explanation.
You said what? Isaiah 5:36?
I think that's right. What does it say? Oh, let me find it real quick. What I say?
Woe to them that.
Yeah, what's that? Amos? Yeah, Amos 5:15. Or something 5. Amos 5:15.
The book of Amos, chapter 5, verse 13. 15? Oh, okay. Verse 15. Hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate.
Right. Hate the evil and love the good. So the Father has commanded us to hate and to love. He told us to hate and love. He didn't say just love. As the churches say, he said all love. Love is love. Father said hate and love. Hate the evil, love the good. When people say, "Oh, why you like that? Like you hate, homosexuals or something?" Yeah, fine. I hate thieves. I hate rapists. Because the scriptures say, "Hate the evil and love the good." I love my people that have what repented to the commandments of the Most High. I don't care what school you're in, or what state you're at, or who's your elder. It don't matter. You're repented to righteousness. You keeping these commandments. I got love for you. All right. We got to know what to love and what to hate. Okay. Read that verse one more time.
Amos, Amos chapter 5, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Hate the evil and love the good.
Hate the evil and love the good. Very important to understand. Somebody still say, "Oh, can we hate?" Yes, you can hate. You can despise. You can forsake. All these things are hate, actions of hate. Forsaking, despising, hating is all the same actions. Okay. One more. Give me Isaiah 5. Go back to Isaiah 5, 5 and 20. 5 and 20 is a good. So we leave Amos 5 and 15, and now we're going to Isaiah 5 and 20.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 5, verse 20.
Come.
Woe unto them that call evil good, and good evil.
Right, he said, well, woe unto them, destruction on anybody that calls good evil and evil good. Okay? Some people want to argue with the Most High. Oh, I don't see it that way. Well, the scripture says destruction unto them that call good evil and evil good. All right? Read on.
That put darkness for light, and light for darkness.
Read on.
that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter.
All right, all saying the same thing in a different way. Woe unto them that do these things. Okay, destruction unto them that are found in this way. Okay, so we got to be mindful of that. All right, so now let's go back to the portion.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22, verse 6. If a bird's nest chance to be before thee in the way, in any tree, or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, thou shalt not take the dam with the young.
You understand that? You either take the egg or take the bird. Don't take the bird and the egg. All right? Eat chicken or have some eggs. Don't have some chicken and eggs. All right? Not saying you can't eat chicken with eggs, but don't kill the chicken and eat the eggs. Preserve one. And have the other one another time. Okay? Read.
But thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, that thou mayest prolong thy days. When thou buildest a new house, then thou shalt make a battlement for thy roof.
Right?
That thou bring not blood upon thine house, if any man fall from thence.
What is a battlement? That's an edge around the roof. So if somebody try to make the rules today, they don't know battlement. It's a pitch and go straight out. So if someone slipped, guess where they ended up? On the ground, right? It's supposed to be a battlement at the edge of the roof. And if you slip and you roll, you hit the edge and you don't fall off the roof, right? It's really simple. It sounds simple, but then again, you see it. These rules we see nowadays, they don't have no battlement. Okay, cool. It's pitched. If you fall, you finish. That's it, right? Not supposed to be that way. Okay, especially if the roof is 2 or 3 stories. All right, bad if you fall over 1 story, but 2 or 3 stories, you go into the hospital. You may not make it. Right? So when we build our houses, there's supposed to be an edge around the roof to stop you if you slip. Right? You know.
Verse 9. Thou shalt not sow thy vineyard with diverse seeds.
Right.
Lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown, and the fruit of thy vineyard be defiled.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not plow with an ox.
So understand diverse seeds. You know, when you're planting things, you plant the same thing in a row. You don't plant different stuff in the same row. All right? You have to separate it somehow. Right? Because you don't want diverse seeds to grow and intermingle with each other when you're planting. Okay? You know?
Verse 10. Thou shalt not plow with an ox and a donkey together.
Right. You're not going to use, you got to have a plow with 2 animals, and you got an ox and a donkey. So the plow is sitting like this. The donkey is a different speed than the ox. It's confusion. Right? If you either have 2 oxes or 2 donkeys, what are you doing here? Okay? So it sounds simple, but understand it's a spiritual reason for all these things. All right? We are.
Verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts, as of woolen and linen together.
Right. Today, we don't have much control over that because the fabrics that made today are this percent that or that percent that, but whatever possible, try to get 100% of what you're wearing. Okay? If you're going to wear linen, get 100% linen. If you get cotton, get 100% cotton. Whatever you can. All right? Whatever is possible. All right? You choose the one that's 100%. Right? We're not supposed to interwoven the fabrics together. Okay? Read.
Thou shalt make thee fringe. Thou shalt make thee fringes upon the 4 quarters of thy vesture, wherewith thou coverest thyself.
Right, so that's talking about our fringes on our garments, or the 4 quarters. What's that talking about? Every direction you should see the fringe. Okay, you should see the fringe from every direction. And we have people that wear, either you wear what is called a full fringe, which is around the whole bottom of the garment, or you have your ZZs on. That's why we wear 4. And we wear ZZs, we don't wear 2, we wear 4. Why do we wear 4? So it's seen from every direction. Okay? That's the purpose of wearing 4. Right? You don't want to wear 3, 1 in the back and 2 on the side. You wear 4. Okay? Why 4? Because it's the 4 corners of your vesture. Everybody understand that? We're going to take the break right here, and then we're going to continue with the portion. Take a snack, stretch your legs, we're going to do, and then we'll get back in about a half an hour. We'll reconvene in the portion. Hallelujah.